Hey everybody, this is Hardy from Who's Your Anime. Now before I get to answering your questions, I just want to say I would like to thank everybody for wishing me a happy birthday. I mean, you get to be 29 once, right? So I'm gonna definitely celebrate it as best as I can. Anyway, so here I go, answering your questions. Yes, I have seen the new trailer of Metal Gear Solid Rising. I mean, I'm a really big fan of the Metal Gear series, and I just want to say that I was really impressed with the trailer. I mean, for one thing, you get to see Raiden do precision cutting, killing off enemies and destroying environments. That was actually pretty cool. Plus, I love the ending of the trailer where he starts cutting melons. I mean, that just pretty much shows Hideo Kojima's great sense of humor. I mean, will this Metal Gear tell the story of how Raiden saved Sonny, or how he met Big Mama, or met Dr. Madnar? Or even how Raiden became a cyborg ninja in the first place? I mean, that pretty much leaves a lot of questions there. Also, another thing that bugged me was the gameplay. You know that scene where Raiden cuts up 4 guys so easily? I mean, I was expecting it to be a little more Ninja Gaiden-ish, you know? Hit him a little and then slice him up, that sort of thing. I mean, I was expecting it to be a little bit more difficult and challenging. I also wonder if Raiden is going to fight any Metal Gears in this game also. Just like he did in Metal Gear Solid 4. Well, I just have to wait for the game to come out. Well, yeah, I did saw the trailer for King of Fighters 13, and to be honest, it looked like King of Fighters 12 plus 1. I mean, for me, the King of Fighters 12 felt like an incomplete demo, and King of Fighters 13 is actually the complete version of King of Fighters 12, only with an actual storyline and more backgrounds and that sort of thing. I mean, let's just hope that it just doesn't suck as much as King of Fighters 12. I have to say the one anime that actually made an impact to me was the end of Evangelion. I mean, for me, that wasn't just an anime. For me, that was Hideaki Anno's emotional breakdown through depression caused by the negativity that was brought on by the people who hated Evangelion. The TV series, I mean. And believe me when I say this, I sort of learned that the hard way. I mean, after watching that film the first time, I was so depressed that I stayed in my room for 3 days. I mean, it really made me so depressed. It was just so creepy. I mean, it just really got me down. It was one of those animes where it's just, whoa, you know? I think the most overrated anime that I've ever seen would have to be, and no offense to the fans of this, Cowboy Bebop. I mean, a lot of people say that this anime was the pinnacle of all anime TV series. But when I watched it, I thought it was a really great series, but calling it the pinnacle would be a bit of an overstatement. I mean, it was overrated, but it was still a great anime nonetheless. I have to say the most underrated anime would have to be, Devil Lady. It's actually one of my top 10 favorite animes, but the problem was that not a lot of people really know about it. I mean, I do feel like that it's not getting that much attention as much as some of the other animes that I've seen. It's such a great story. I mean, it was dark, it was dramatic, it was action-oriented, and you get to see this girl beat the crap out of Beast! Not to mention that this was actually more interesting than the mangas. Although I have to say that the mangas were actually kind of scarier. I was actually a little surprised by that. I mean, Funimation is such a good company. I mean, they're making the right choices, and their company has a lot of animes that they own. I mean, why should they sell a company that is doing it so well? They probably did it for the money, I don't know. But I have to admit that I do have a good feeling that they're not going down as much as ADV Films or Central Park Media, so I guess that's sort of a good thing. I mean, I think they can make it on their own. That would have to be Grumpy G-san. I mean, I've always admired him for a very long time, and I really enjoyed his reviews because they're very professional and very detailed, which is probably the great thing that I really admire about his reviews. Not to mention that a man his age, no offense Grumpy G-san, I mean, I would love to still review animes until I'm pretty much his age, or, you know, till the day I die. I think when it comes to Hollywood movies based on animes, I just think that they won't be very successful. I mean, anime fans have this picture-perfect idea of what an anime movie, a live-action movie, would look like in their heads. And they always want it to stick to the essence of the particular anime. But when Hollywood companies introduce something that may screw it up, that's where they go ballistic. Maybe they could probably get it right if they do that. But, you know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Well, actually, I never read a Clamp manga before, but I have seen, like, a few Clamp animes, like X the TV series and X the movie, which I truly don't like. And I also seen Magic Knight Re-Earth, the television series, and the OVAs. And I also saw Chobits, so that's pretty much the only Clamps that I've seen. That would have to be Iku from Ah My Buddha. I mean, he is a Buddhist priest who becomes the ultimate exorcist when he looks at naked women. I mean, who actually invented that stupid idea? Not to mention that he is surrounded by all these beautiful Buddhist priestesses who pretty much show off their stuff and somehow do awkward things that are so pervertedly stupid. I mean, it makes me just want to throw him off the damn cliff! You know, for me, fan service ecchi used to be fun. I mean, a little nudity, a little perversity didn't really hurt me back then when I first started watching anime. But now, as the years go by, fan service just became stupid. I mean, if an anime had a good story or something funny, comedy feel to it, maybe fan service could be actually passable if you introduce stuff like that in there. But if it's just plain stupid, it just doesn't work. Well, when it comes to me, I really don't watch animes that are, you know, released by certain dates. I mean, for me, I just, you know, pick out whatever that is interesting. And sorry to tell you this, but no, I haven't seen Kiss Access or Angel Beats, so I'm sorry about that, but I will try to check them out. Now, I do 3 things to relieve me of stress. One is sleeping, second is playing video games, and thirdly, I like to listen to loud rock music and sing my ass off. Oh man, that is actually a good question. Now, if some of you don't know, Kain and Raziel are characters from my favorite video game, the Legacy of Kain series. I think Kain would have to be my favorite because he is just so good at being evil. Plus, I also love the way he fights in Legacy of Kain Defiance. I mean, it is just so badass. And not to mention the stealth kills in Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2. I loved every single moment I do a stealth kill in that game. Not to mention the voice actor who played as Kain, Simon Templeman. I mean, he just performs the character so well. I mean, he was born to play that role. I mean, if he was reading a dictionary, I would listen to it every single day for the rest of my life. Well, that's easy. Vampire Hunter D. And also, I already heard that there's going to be a Hollywood film version of it coming out soon, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that they don't screw that up. And I also heard that there is actually an anime version being made, I mean an anime TV series, which is kind of cool, so I really hope that, you know, it comes out really well. That would have to be Film Brain, who does Bad Movie Beatdown, because I really thought that he makes good points in his reviews while still being funny as hell. And I especially love the moments where he does that thing, you know, the symbolism! That just really, you know, makes me laugh. I used to read manga a long time ago, but then right now I briefly do. I mean, the only mangas that I read are Vampire Hunter D novels. So that's pretty much it.